Wilde Beast is a much maligned wood coaster at Canada's Wonderland. This ride gets a lot of hate in the coaster community, but is it really as rough and bad as people say? Find out in this review of Wilde Beast. This wood coaster was an opening day attraction for Canada's Wonderland, opening back in 1981. The ride was designed by Curtis D. Summers. The ride was modeled after the former Wildcat coaster that ran at Ohio's Coney Island. This layout would be later used for 3 other parks in the Taft chain that same decade. One would be Grizzly at King's Dominion in 1982, and I think this is the clone that runs the best. Another would be Bush Beast at Australia's Wonderland in 1985. Lastly, there was Grizzly at California's Great America in 1986. The builder of Wilde Beast is interesting. The plaque in the station states this ride was built by Philadelphia Toboggan Coasters, or PTC, but that's very unlikely. PTC stopped building coasters in the late 1970s. It's believed this ride was assembled by construction workers who previously worked for PTC, hence the association. Wilde Beast is located in the medieval fair section of the park. There's no theming in the station, queue line, or ride course. The only tie-in is the ride's spelling. Wild is spelled with an E at the end, although it used the more conventional spelling without the E from 1997 through 2018. The original name was only recently restored. This Woody has the stereotypical brown appearance, which is fine. The lift hill looms over the midway, but the ride is more of a presence from the employee parking lot. Wilde Beast usually is one of the shorter waits for the park's larger coasters, but it can still develop a 30 to 40 minute wait on busier days. For a wood coaster, the ride has good capacity. It runs 2 PTC trains, each with 7 cars instead of the usual 6. And each car consists of 2 rows of 2, so each train can accommodate a max of 28 riders per cycle. You have a seatbelt and individual lap bar combination like most PTCs, but the latter ratchets downwards in larger increments than usual. Once checked, I would hold onto the restraint, or it can staple you during the ride's valleys, which can make the roughness a little more uncomfortable. Which seat you'll prefer depends on your tastes and tolerance for roughness. The back car has the slightly better airtime, but it is a bit rougher. The very front is pretty darn smooth by comparison. Wilde Beast's roughness is its biggest flaw, but I've personally never had a big issue with this coaster, as long as I avoid a wheel seat or the back of a car. You'll find shuffling in quite a few valleys, but again it's mostly tolerable, except for 1 or 2 spots I'll point out. Once dispatched, you round a corner and ascend the 82-foot or 25-meter tall lift hill. You don't get the best view looking in front of you, but you do get a cool view of the park if you look behind you. Once at the top, you head down the first drop, and if you're towards the back, you'll get an okay pop of airtime. Then everyone gets treated to some nice positive G's in the valley. They're pretty good for a traditional Woody. Everyone will also get some jackhammering, and it's particularly unpleasant when paired with those positives, which is why it's so imperative to avoid a wheel seat. You then head into the first turnaround, meekly lifting out your seat in the entry if you're up front. The turn is super slow and uneventful, but you do get a nice view of the park at least. The drop off this turnaround isn't all that great, but the next bunny hill is quite good. You get a good pop of airtime up front. In the back, the airtime is weaker in power, but instead it's mildly sustained. This hill ends with a terrifying head chopper with a support beam. Then you have another bunny hill that subtly banks right. No airtime in this one, but you do get some mild laterals. I really like how so many of this ride's bunny hills are banked like this to induce some laterals. The second turnaround is more interesting than the first one. It's a giant fan turn with minimal banking, so it has a quick lateral slam up front. You lose too much speed before this turn to get the laterals in the back though. Instead, those in back just get a nasty slam coming out of the turn. Next is another nice bunny hill. This one combines airtime and laterals. Everyone gets decent laterals, then those up front get a weak bit of airtime, while those in back get a much more pronounced pop. This is followed by yet another banked bunny hill. It only gives a pinch of airtime in the back car, but it does give a small dose of laterals for all. Next is the final turnaround. No airtime in or out of this element, but the unbanked turn does offer some sustained laterals for everyone. You then have 2 more bunny hills to finish off the ride. The first doesn't do too much, but the second offers some more laterals and a really good head chopper with the support. Then those in back also get some mildly sustained floater airtime. You then rise into the brake run, ending the 3,150 foot or 960 meter long coaster? I touched on this ride's smoothness, but what about the pacing? It's imperfect in this category. Not all of the hills deliver. It seems like every other one takes a break. So what would I rate Wilde Beast? I would give this wood coaster a 5 out of 10. This is an overhated ride. It's not an elite ride by any stretch of the imagination, but it is the park's best wood coaster, and it is tolerable if you avoid a wheel seat. That allows me to enjoy the layout that has a decent mix of airtime and laterals. As I mentioned earlier, the banking on the bunny hills is a major plus for me because it helps compensate for the ones missing the airtime. Should this ride be RMC'd? I certainly would not be opposed. Not sure if and when Cedar Fair will work with Rocky Mountain construction again, but I cannot deny a hybrid conversion would be a major upgrade. That being said, I'd rather see Mighty Canadian Mindbuster get the treatment because that's a much less exciting ride in my opinion. So those are my thoughts on Wilde Beast, Canada's Wonderland. What are your thoughts on this wood coaster? Is it your favorite Woody at Canada's Wonderland as well? Let me know down in the comments. If you enjoyed this review, I'd appreciate it if you gave this video a like, and you considered subscribing, because there'll be a lot more roller coaster and amusement park videos here at Canada Coaster. Thanks for watching.